Hey Nicole, what's going on? How are you?
How are you? Good.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It YouTube podcast. I'm happy you're here today.
Thank you. I'm
So,
happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, hey, you're important, man. You're doing $1 million listings, so I had to have you. I had to have you on my show. It's like if we don't know Nicole, we don't know Hudson County. That's a problem. So I wanted to make sure I had you on my show to talk about what's going on in Hudson County. Particularly, that's where you concentrate on, right?
Yes, and
Okay.
born and raised.
Born and raised in Hudson
Yes.
County. Okay. So what is so special about waterfront properties? Because that's where you specialize your expertise in, right?
I do. I mean, other than the fact that, the markets are a little bit different, right? So
Right.
specializing in Hoboken, Jersey City, Weehawken, where I live
Okay.
now, waterfront property. What's not to say? I mean, you're getting the most picturesque view, the most iconic view
Right.
on the New Jersey Gold Coast of the most famous skyline. Like, go anywhere in the whole world,
Yeah,
they know that view.
that Gold Coast.
They
view.
might not know it's coming from New Jersey, which is why
Right.
I try to explain, like, hey, I know where you can get that view, where you
Right.
can own that view.
Okay.
It's right here
Wow.
on the New Jersey Gold Coast.
So Gold Coast means the waterfront view from Hudson County.
Yeah, so Gold Coast, I mean, there's multiple golden coasts,
Right,
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 all
right.
over the world.
Correct.
But ours is the New Jersey Gold
New
Coast.
Jersey. Okay, New Jersey
Yeah.
Gold Coast. Okay.
And all along that waterfront, whether you're as far as Fort Lee,
Okay.
down to even Bayonne. I mean, I think even South Jersey, some towns, you can see the water and the city in the background. But like the best view, in my opinion, that is my opinion,
Right.
is from, Jersey City downtown, Hoboken. Next town over is Weehawken. Then you have West New York, parts of North Bergen, Guttenberg, and then Edgewater.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, right? Because when I was trying to understand who are you and what are you doing, what you got going on, this is the first time I saw New Jersey Gold Coast on someone's page as it refers to water views of New Jersey. So I thought it was, shame on me, I thought it was just particularly Hudson County. I didn't know it's anything that has a view of waterfront kind of sort of view, right?
Well, no, it's the town too, right?
town,
Like
okay.
it's the actual city
actual
too.
city,
I
okay.
mean, there are properties that sit directly on the waterfront,
Right.
right? And then there are some that are set back a little bit in the city, which
Okay.
is all great because they're all great markets. The closer you are to Manhattan, if you're a commuter there, the better that location is for you in terms of your commuting,
Right.
proximity. And, these little towns, I mean, it's kind of like, I like to compare them like small, medium, large.
Okay.
Because Weehawken is a little bit smaller of a community.
Right.
You have picturesque views, the serenity of the water on that waterfront, but you also have the hill,
Right.
right? Where there are single family homes and you can get big picture views from up there as well.
Which are very nice, by the way.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not cheap,
No.
but they're worth it. And then you have like your medium-sized city of Hoboken, which is 1 square mile,
Right.
and you have that waterfront, but then you also have really beautiful, luxurious homes and condos and brownstones all throughout that 1 square mile city, boutiques, restaurants, a very approachable city.
I'm trying to understand, with 1 square mile, how does Hoboken have sections?
No, Hoboken doesn't.
Right, 'cause there's North End,
so,
right?
Right, North End. I think the bigger sections are in downtown Jersey City.
Okay.
You have multiple neighborhoods just downtown, and then Jersey City actually expands all the way up on the hill
Jersey
too,
City's
right?
big,
You
yeah,
have
Jersey
the
City's very
Heights, you
big,
have Journal
right.
Square, so that's why it's my large city,
Right,
right?
right,
It's
right.
like large with multiple neighborhoods.
Right.
You do have a few neighborhood sections in Hoboken, and then Weehawken, it's more of like the bluffs, the hill,
Right.
and the waterfront.
That makes sense. But when because I used to work on Washington Street,
Yeah.
right? And it was like, yeah, uptown. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's 1 square mile. What do you
Yeah,
mean
it doesn't
uptown?
matter.
Who came up with that?
Ask anyone in Hoboken what's considered uptown and what's considered downtown. It's
Right.
like 7th Street is kind of like that marker.
Okay.
Right? So anything north of 7th Street, uptown.
Okay, north of 7th Street, uptown. Okay.
Downtown, west, right? West Hoboken.
Guys,
'cause
this
you're-
is 1 square mile. Geography, they coming up with different sections of 1 square mile. Okay.
But it's the entire town, the entire city
Right.
is amazing.
Yes,
like
it
it
is.
doesn't matter where you are. different parts offer different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Waterfront offers views. Sometimes you get more space though, further back in town, right?
Okay.
Might even get parking back there, which is a
Might-
huge bonus.
I might get parking. That's
Parking is a
interesting.
commodity.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, I just closed on one. I didn't know I had to buy. I got the unit, and we had to include the parking into the unit as well. So,
Sometimes it's sold separately.
yeah. So it is a commodity. You're right about
Yeah.
that. So when when we talk about Hudson County, specifically Jersey City, I've seen Jersey City change a lot, right? I was in Jersey City, I want to say 2006, 7, 8, where I worked at Pershing, which is off of Grove Street. You know that big gray building, yucky building? Well, it probably looks better now. I worked in that building, and I got exposed to Jersey City, and I used to get food and everything. I mean, I still do, right? But it was cheaper. It was like $4 or $5. I get yuca, plantains, and rice, and I'm like, can't go wrong with $4 or $5 on a meal.
There's still a few spots left like
There's
that.
still a few spots.
Oh
like that.
yeah,
Wow.
and I can take you.
Yeah, we definitely got to go on that adventure.
For sure.
So I saw Jersey. I saw so many signs. Things was going to change. It was going to grow. It was going to, take it to the next level. 10 years later. Wow.
I know.
Grove Street don't look like Grove Street the way I saw it. Jersey City don't look like Jersey City the way I saw it.
It's so true.
Between the financials and everything coming in, it's changed a lot. Can you talk about what's going on? How's it, like, how rapidly it just grew so quickly?
Let's start by saying that the hospital I was born in Jersey City, is
Okay.
now a condominium.
Whoa.
So a lot has changed. I also, my husband and I, when we first met, we lived downtown Jersey City together. And that was back in 2013.
Okay.
And it has grown even since then.
Wow.
A lot more eateries,
Right.
boutiques, people, community. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Like, it's a
it
very
is.
vibrant community, and I love that about it.
Right.
You have multiple means of transportation into Manhattan, farmers markets. They
Right.
just opened a Whole Foods. I mean,
It
the
is changing
towers,
by the
there's like
day.
almost no land left, So I always encourage my buyers, like, get a little piece of it.
Right.
They're not going to make any more.
No, it is it's a rare find now if you find something in Jersey City, because it's
Right.
just it's grown tremendously. I think they're gonna have to like build streets on top of streets soon just to get around, right? Because it's that congested somewhat, right?
It's definitely congested,
Okay.
but it's a walkable city.
Right, it
so, if you don't need a car, I can't tell you how many clients have come like from a suburb looking to either just be closer to Manhattan or just downsize. Maybe they're empty nesters.
Right.
I'm like, you need to get rid of that second car. We will have a hard time finding one parking space, but I don't think you're going to need the two anymore. And, it's hard to let go of more space
Right.
sometimes and things, but they get it eventually. They're like, hey, by the way, we got rid of that car.
They come on they come on like 4 or 5 o'clock on the middle of the week. And
You
they
need
see
to walk.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm in Weehawken now.
Right.
It's easier for me to jump on the light rail,
Right.
which is so convenient. It comes every 20 minutes.
Okay.
I can go Weehawken through Hoboken, so I could stop in Hoboken, or I can get downtown Jersey City in like 12 minutes.
So
I could drive in.
transportation's good.
No, transportation is so easy.
Right.
It's so easy to get
Okay.
around. You can even get all the way to Union City. You can get down to Bayonne. I mean, it goes
Right.
really far.
Okay.
Yeah.
It definitely reliable. It's better than going. I've seen where I would go from Weehawken to Hoboken, and it's just crossing that little bridge and just making a right on River Road. It could take
Yeah.
anywhere between 22 to 26 minutes.
Yes, during those rush
During
hour
those rush hour
times,
times, I'm like,
absolutely.
wow.
And I do it a lot, between meetings with clients, appointments,
Right.
taking my daughter to gymnastics, getting to my husband's restaurants.
Right.
It's just all over the place.
When you start looking at it, you're like, wow, they're all close to each other, but depending on the time you're traveling, it could take a while to get from A to B. So you just have to plan accordingly. And like you said, rely heavily on public transportation.
Yeah,
Because having a car may not make any sense in these areas.
exactly.
Okay. So we spoke about hubby's restaurant. It's called margaritas, right?
Yes, there's margaritas
Right.
in Hoboken.
In Hoboken.
And there are 2 White Stars in downtown Jersey City,
Okay.
one in Hamilton Park, one in Paulus Hook.
Okay.
And then there's Matthews on Grove Street.
Matthews on Grove Street.
Don't ask me which one's my favorite. Everyone
we're not
loves to
gonna-
ask. If you can only go to dinner at one tonight, which would you go to? It's like they're all different menus and vibes, and they're all great.
I gotta try margaritas.
Yes.
Because when you first told me about it, I was looking. I was like, I like the menu. I was like, and fun fact, I like Italian food. So I'm like, I gotta definitely try what margaritas. Is there a special dish that I would, if when I'm going to order, that you think I would like?
So the great thing about Italian food is that it's so cozy.
Good reply. Oh
Right?
my God, good reply.
It's
She's
so
not gonna.
warm and cozy and shareable. We
Okay.
have really big portions. I do have a few favorite dishes. One would be the lobster pasta.
Lobster pasta. I gotta try that.
It has just enough little spice in it too
Okay.
that makes it so amazing. And I do like our pizzas. And you don't pepperoni me is my favorite
You don't
pizza.
pepperoni me. That's a good one. You don't pepperoni me.
It's a delicious one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta try that. Mm-hmm. I will try it next year because we're recording now in December. Traveling a little bit, the holidays get a little
course.
crazy. So I'm
Yeah, and
definitely
you'll
gonna
be
try.
full from your own dinners.
Can't wait to try it. So you do $1 million listings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about the difference between penthouse living and waterhouse living? I mean, excuse me, penthouse living and waterfront views, right? Because some penthouses are not on the waterfront, right?
Correct.
Some are they sit back a little bit, but they still have those nice views, but they're not on the water. So can you talk about what are those differences are between the penthouse and waterfront?
Sure. So, I mean, a penthouse doesn't necessarily sit on a waterfront, right? Penthouses are very rare. You have penthouse or buildings that have only 2 penthouses or
Right.
4, or they have a whole penthouse floor.
Right.
They're usually larger units. They usually have higher ceilings, a little bit more space, just in bedrooms, living space. They're rare, so they don't come to market often, and when they do, they tend to go pretty quickly.
They call Nicole.
They call me
Yeah.
because we market it very well.
Right.
Recently, I listed a penthouse in Hoboken, and soon to close. Always
Okay.
knocking
right.
wood,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
That I knew it. I knew it from the day they called me. I had sold it to them a few years ago, and like
Okay.
every family, they
Talk
evolve.
about it. Right.
And so it was time to sell. They're moving on, and I did try to warn them as best as I could. I said, guys, be prepared. We're gonna have a lot of showings. This is gonna go very quickly. I do not see a problem with you getting a great buyer for this property.
Right.
Fast, and we're gonna get probably a lot more than we're going to be asking. So
That's what's up.
yeah, so
Okay.
highest price, fastest amount of time. Obviously, you want the best terms for your clients always.
Right.
So before we even went to market, we had a media day, videographer. And this is the reason why social media is so important, following other colleagues, realtors, clients, etc. I posted just in my story, maybe like a 3-second clip from their balcony. So of the view and just like a little bit of the space.
In stories.
In my stories, not
Right.
even a post, because
Right.
I'm not going to share media before it's ready, right?
That
It
makes-
was our media day.
Right.
Just a little snippet. A few hours later, when I had a chance to get back to, my messages, Nicole, when is this coming to the market? I have clients for this, other colleagues, other realtors in the area, clients of mine. How much is this going to be? Can you share more details?
Okay.
I'm like, okay, well, I need some time to get it to the market.
Right.
No, I have to get in there first. I have to get my clients in there first. And I said, let me see if my sellers are comfortable with that. And
Right.
they were, which was nice. So we went to market on a Monday, and by Wednesday we had multiple offers.
That penthouse
By
view must have
Friday
been
we were
amazing.
under contract, out of review.
Wow.
Yes.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
Penthouse living is exceptional.
Clearly, I mean, you put 3 second stories.
Well, everyone
not even
likes
a
to hit
post,
that
right?
button that says PH, right?
Yeah.
So,
That you're right about that, right? You do.
I mean,
see
I
it.
don't get to hit that button.
No. Yeah.
But it's
I'm not there
fine.
yet.
I really love to get clients that,
Right.
address. But
Okay, that's this is when I think of penthouse, right? I'm watching movies. I'm like, yeah, I see penthouse unit, I see the penthouse living, but to actually have someone, I've never spoken to someone like you. Oh, excuse me, wrong word. I've never spoken to someone that sold the penthouse living. Now I'm speaking to someone professional like you who has sold penthouse living. So I'm like, okay, that's what's up.
But they're all so different.
Right, they
Remember,
are. Yeah.
like some are just one bedroom. They're just on the penthouse floor.
Right.
So totally attainable.
Yeah, but that pH that you said.
I know, it's
you
so
hit
nice.
that button, man. You just like.
One day
You're on a different level.
We'll hit it one day, right?
We are going to hit it one day.
We are. Let's manifest
let's
that
manifest it.
penthouse.
Penthouse living, right?
Thank you. Okay.
It's a good feeling. So how did Nicole get started with real estate?
Oh. So I got into real estate because of my incredibly supportive husband.
Let's go.
He really is a great partner.
Right.
We weren't married at the time, just dating. Before real estate, I was a teacher in North Bergen, so Hudson County. And I was also bartending. I had been bartending in Hoboken for many years. So again, Hudson County community. And, after Hoboken, I went to the city to bartend a little bit more, selling bottles and making big tips. And I would come home and share my story with Matt, and he would just be like, Nicole, you're a very personable person. And he's really good at this, by the way. He's really good at placing people in good positions, where their destiny should be, right? That's why he's a successful business owner himself.
Correct.
And leader, great leader. So he said to me one day, why don't you sell something more expensive than a bottle of Dom Perignon? Why don't you sell a car or a jet or a house? And I was like, oh, well, I've always been fascinated by real estate. Who isn't, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, everyone you talk to, oh, you're a realtor? How's the market? What's going on? How are the rates? And anywhere you go in the whole world.
Right.
And I said, I could sell a house. That sounds like fun. In fact, wouldn't that be nice to be able to help people find their home? Because that's what a house really is, right? It's a home. Right. For people to enjoy and make memories.
Make memories, right.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, I'll do that. And I said, I'll register for the class. And I looked, and it was like, oh, no, the next one's going to be over my birthday. I'll register for the next class after that. And he goes, oh, I already signed you up.
Whoa. He made sure you was doing this, right?
What?
Right.
And
that's a great accountability partner, by the way.
Totally.
Right.
And I appreciated that so much. At the time, I was thinking, this is crazy. But when I do something, it doesn't matter what it is, teaching, bartending, I nosedive deep, all the way in, and I have to be great at what I'm doing. And of course, I knew I was going to love it. And so as soon as I started flipping through that book, I was like, I can't wait to be done.
Okay.
And, if you ask any of my colleagues who I'm still with 9 years later in the same company, they'll say, oh, no, Nicole started, and she already wanted to be great. I couldn't just accept that, no, it takes time to build a business, and it really does. And I'm grateful now for 9 years later to have had the success to sell $1 million properties because it doesn't start there.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe you have a few acquaintances or family members that can give you that first listing, but
Nicole, your space is different.
Time.
You're in the luxury market. Your space is completely different.
Totally, but I didn't come from that. So I grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment with my sisters and my mom next to me. So it's really special to be able to sell these types of homes.
Well, it keeps you grounded too.
Totally.
Because you know where you started.
Yes.
And what you're doing today.
And appreciative of everything.
I see it comes across genuine, so trust me.
Thank you.
I see that you're not.
Yeah, And every listing is important,
Right.
whether it's 200,000 to 2 million,
Right.
you know, like
It-
it's very important
Everybody
to
deserves that
everyone.
same service, right?
100%.
Yeah,
Same
so-
marketing,
right.
same drive, same push. I want to make everyone a lot of money.
Well, that's why we do what we do, right?
Sure.
Because at the end, we have our own lifestyle,
Sure.
and two, we want to make sure that person gets the home that they're looking for because they hired us to do it, right?
Right.
When it comes to the lifestyle, I know you like to vacation a lot. Can you talk about your recent vacationing?
I'm going to rephrase that to my husband likes to vacation a lot. While
Okay.
I enjoy vacationing,
Yeah.
I get very nervous about leaving my business, but I have a great support system, so that helps. But vacations, we take really beautiful vacations when we take them. We are creatures of habit.
Right.
So there are some places that are very special to us. One being the southern part of Italy. We got married there 6 years ago.
Okay.
Puglia is really just amazing. Italy is amazing, right?
Right.
But this specific region, the food, the people, and so because we have, our wedding that was there, we met a lot of people there. And so we try to frequent every year. We didn't go this past year because I had just had a baby.
Right.
And we didn't go the year of COVID. So other than that, we had frequent every summer.
My friend was mentioning, because I'm going to Europe next week.
Yeah.
And she mentioned that she thinks hands down, Italy has the best food out of Europe.
I will agree. I've never gotten heartburn there. The food is just, it's next level. It's just so different. It's so tasty. And a lot of our vacations are also spent working, obviously.
Right.
Like there's never a day I'm at a pool without a laptop or at a beach without a laptop.
You might meet a client there too, right?
Wait, so it's so funny you say that. And we just took a vacation, but in Italy too, I have met couples from Hoboken, New Jersey, and when they find out where we live
Right.
and our restaurant, they're just like, no way, right? So then there's like this instant connection and you take it from there, right? So you're always working, always prospecting.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because in the world that we're in, right, we get to enjoy these things. Again, you're in the space where you're seeing certain, demographics where they're buying and selling in these luxury areas. So it makes sense. I mean, so you're actually winning when you're on vacation.
Totally.
Right?
You're just like expanding your knowledge.
Right.
And meeting people in a different setting. And now they're just like, it's relatable.
Right.
You're on the same vacation, right? You're from the same neighborhood and you're on the same vacation. So now you've made this connection and
you're breaking the ice before you even have
Totally.
sometimes you're just talking to someone, you're like, how can I be relatable to that person?
Yep.
What do I need to do to make sure that they trust me? But if you're at the same spot and you're talking about certain things in certain lights, you made the connection. Now it's like, how do you want to go about this important transaction that I'm going to help provide for you, right? So
Right.
it just makes it that much easier. So I always feel like when you're around certain opportunities, you make the best of it because that's how we grow our business. I mean, the internet is good, don't get me wrong.
Oh, definitely.
But referrals, neighbors,
That's the best
I
business.
mean, yeah, once they say, hey, use Nicole, use Jimmy Mortgage, it's like, all right, we already know. We've got the stamp of approval. We're going to closing table, right?
It's such a special experience with a referral.
Yeah, it just makes it that much easier. And it's hard to build referrals too, right? Because you have to be in the business for a while and you deliver excellence every time you touch
Every time.
Every time you touch it, right? So kudos to you and how you've grown your business so much.
Thank you.
What did I call you earlier? I'm not going to say earlier because it's behind the room, but $1 million listing right here. $1 million listing. Actually, Ryan Serhan came from Nest Seekers, right? If I'm not
He
mistaken.
did.
He came from Nest Seekers and now he's doing his own thing. But when I think of that boutique, I think of $1 million listing. So it makes sense that you're part of that.
Just
group.
growing and growing and growing.
Right, and I see that. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for coming on. Let's talk about it. I mean,
You're welcome.
I was a little nervous in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you again because I've never met someone who I sat next to and you press the pH button, and then you're going ding, and you see these views.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we will be pressing that pH
Yeah,
at some point, hopefully in our lives.
Definitely. Again, thank you so much for Let's Talk About It.
Thank you for having me.
Where can they find you, Nicole? Talk to the camera. Let them know.
Where can you find me? So I work with Nest Seekers International. I am in Hudson County. I mean, all of New Jersey, and international. We're an international company, so name the market, we are in it. And because I travel to these luxury markets, I'm always happy to share properties in them, or even take you for a tour. But specializing in Hudson County, that's where you'll find me. My kids, my husband, our businesses, that's where we'll be.
What is your hand on IG?
Oh, my IG is Gold Coast Nicole.
Gold Coast Nicole.
Yep.
All right. Well, again, thank you for coming on Let's Talk About It. You can subscribe at your favorite streaming platform. Again, you're going to find Nicole talking about the luxury listing, penthouse living, Hudson County, and what it's all about.
All living.
That is true, right?
Yeah.
I
don't want to exclude. Right. No, I know you're so fascinated with this penthouse, but I don't want to exclude the other properties because they are special.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Thank you.
I'm being biased.
I know, but
I'm
there's like
nothing
more satisfying too than selling, a person their first investment property, and it's usually not $1 million listing.
No,
that
is true.
It's like get your foot in the door, no matter how much it is. 400,000, 500,000.
There's still 400,000.
A few. Well, when I got a few that I'm thinking about in my mind, very special clients of mine, like their first properties, they got their big person job and their first investment property.
Right.
Those are actually my favorite.
Okay. Keep it at home, but I love it. Again, thank you all. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.